Here now is Congressman Tom Reed, Republican congressman from New York and member of the Tax Writing House Ways and Means Committee. I always take these polls with such a grain of salt, though, because it's hard for me to believe that all the people they called had studied and understood the nuances of the plan. How seriously do you guys take these things?
You know, that's why I don't think you can be relying upon every poll that comes out. You have to govern for the people back home. You got to look at the legislative text. We've been working on this for 7 years, and I'm very confident what you're going to see is middle-class tax relief primarily delivered across the country. $1,600, the average family in my district.
So, you know, there's a lot of traction out there, though, with the message that was originally coming from Democrats, but I hear it also coming from the Never Trump folks on the right, saying that this is really a tax plan about giving corporations a break on the back of individuals.
I totally understand, and obviously it's an effective, I guess, political attack that seems to have taken some traction. But at the end of the day, the reality and the facts will carry this message and deliver the results for the American people that it's going to deliver. That will carry this policy forward and actually have it become a very positive impact on people's lives.
Another argument that's gained a lot of traction, I would say, in about the past 24 hours or so, and I laughed the first time I heard it, but now people are taking it seriously, this idea that the economy is going to overheat and we're going to see massive inflation, that if we lower taxes and all of a sudden you know, unleash the economy, the Fed's going to have to step in and crank rates higher. And, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are, you know, saying they're frightened that this is going to happen.
Absolutely. That's why I think you're seeing the power of the status quo. Anything to stop changing, reforming this tax code for the American people, because they're embracing and maintaining and fighting for the status quo and all the special interests that are represented in this 31 years of tax policy that has gone unaddressed. And so you're seeing arguments all over the place. But at the end of the day, I trust people. I know people can look at the legislation, do the calculations themselves. And I will tell you, we are making a simple code. We are making a competitive code. We're going to grow the economy. Yeah. And if our biggest problem is we're growing the economy too much, I would love to have that problem.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that's laughable. What's not laughable, though, is that state and local tax deduction, when middle-class folks do the calculation on that and see that they're not going to be able to deduct the humongous taxes that they're paying in these areas. You know, what do you think is going to be the real impact of that? And do you think that you're going to see a lot of businesses and individuals leave California, New York, New Jersey?
Well, first, I go through the analysis with folks. 78% of the people do not take the itemized deduction. A lot of people think they do, but they don't. And then by expanding the standard deduction, you're going to move that number up to 95%, 97% of the people in our district are not going to take the itemized deduction. That is, though, why we continue to fight for the $10,000 worth of property tax that people can, in those situations where they continue to itemize, will be able to take advantage of that benefit going forward. And I think on the state and local tax deduction, there's even more room to get into the income tax side of the equation on top of the property tax, and that's going to further insulate and protect many of the people we represent.
So you must feel pretty confident of that math, because you in particular, if you're wrong, you're toast.
I totally appreciate that, and that's why we've read the bill. We have looked at this bill. We've been working on this for 7 years on the committee. We are ready to go, and I can go toe-to-toe with anyone, because there's a tremendous amount of misinformation out there. And if you just lay it out and you show people where the text is, what the text says, it is amazing where the light bulbs go off and go, well, that makes sense. I support that. That's why we're seeing more and more of that support come out as we speak.
If we do see the economy grow, are you going to come back and, you know, maybe give more tax cuts and tackle some spending?
We're gonna obviously grow the economy. That's part of the solution on the national debt. Right. And then we got to get the spending under control. So you're going to see a dovetail effect, I believe, because when you have more revenue coming in because of the growth, you can also take the spending, and you got less people relying on the government and expanding these programs because they're taking care of themselves, which I do believe people want to do. Yeah. They don't want to be dependent on government programs.
Yeah, I heard everything in there except for that you might come back and take another crack at cutting the income tax. No?
Well, you know, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in making this stuff permanent on the individual and corporate and business side. You know, making sure we're reducing the tax burden. That's good, sound policy to me, and we're ready to be a part of that effort to do that going forward.
Congressman Reed, thank you.